The electron transport chain. Yep, here we go. Let's get on your horse. In this picture right here, that figure I'm using here, it's opposite of what it looks like in our book. So the matrix is on this side, okay, and this is the inner membrane space. So in the matrix is where we get the products from the Krebs cycle. Uh-oh, here comes that train again. All right. So the products of the Krebs cycle, NADH and FADH2, is what we put into the electron transport chain. Remember, all of glucose except those hydrogens are gone. We remove the hydrogens and send them against their concentration gradient, right? This is a low concentration of hydrogens. This is a high concentration of hydrogens in the inner membrane space. We're making that concentration gradient, send our protons this way, and you can see we've split off our electrons. Our electrons are being carried through the membrane, okay? When we send our hydrogens back through ATP synthase along their concentration gradient by facilitated diffusion, here we have our electrons jumping in with these hydrogens to create water. So here's our water molecule. In the process, we're turning this turbine, the flow of protons, the proton motive force across through the ATP synthase, is turning this guy, generating the energy needed to pop on that phosphate onto ATP. And we get a ton of ATP through this process. So here we see it without all of the molecules, right? We have NADH, FADH2 from the Krebs cycle, pulling off those hydrogens, pumping them across the membrane, active transport against their concentration gradient. The breaking of the bond releases the energy to push them across. We have a high concentration gradient. They flow through ATP synthase by facilitated diffusion. The electron hops back on. The hydrogens hop on. We make water. Water, water. In the process, we make a crap load of ATP. We look at the electron transport chain, what goes in and what comes out. We see we've put in the electron carriers. We grab those hydrogens and electrons from the Krebs cycle, from glucose. We add oxygen, right? That doesn't come from any glucose or any other molecules. You breathe that in. Of course, we need ADP to add the phosphate to. What do we get out? We regenerate NAD and FAD plus 2. We make water and a whole ton of ATP. So what's left from glucose? What molecules are left from glucose in these products? What do you think? Just the hydrogens. Okay, those are the atoms that are left from glucose. The hydrogens that are incorporated into water were originally the hydrogens in glucose. Okay, what else from glucose? The energy. Okay, through this whole process, we use the energy of glucose to make it happen. We generate more energy through the ATP synthase, and that, my friends, is the electron transport chain.